What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us live and direct. Welcome to episode 6 of Compin Atlanta. So excited to be here with you all, ready to rock it and kick it and do all fun, amazing things. Listen, man, it's our 6 episodes. This is great. We've been getting real consistent, having a bunch of people show up. We are now streaming live on Facebook. I see some people already saying, what's up, what's up? We are streaming on YouTube. This is also a great feature to be able to have. And so it's going well. It's going great. I'm excited. And I'm looking forward to get started. So real quick, I want to kind of go over just a couple of things as people start to jump in and chime in a little bit more. Yesterday, if you guys are local, we had an event over at my guy Abraham's place, which was super, super fun. Hey, Heather, how you doing? Super, super fun. We had an amazing time. Jeff, what's up? And it was like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like we talked about wholesaling. The people that was in that event had a really amazing capability because just showing up, they were able to get details and get information that I know for a fact 90% of wholesalers do not have. They have absolutely no clue about it. And so what the benefit is, it allows for now them to immediately, like literally they went to the event last night and then today they started implementing some of the stuff that they learned just on the wholesale side. We talked about gator lending and we talked about how to be able to use those things to separate yourself from the pack and to be able to set it up so you can make 6 figures this year. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but the year is pretty much halfway done. So we're focusing on being able to show them how to do that. We did that last night. There may be a topic we bring up on this channel. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If we get enough comments saying like, yo, what is gator lending? How can I use it for wholesaling? I'll do the same training that I did last night for those individuals on here. And what we'll do, we'll block it off because obviously this isn't something we want for everybody. Just being honest, this is just for a selected group. So one of the first things you should do is you should go sign up for free, join the Facebook page, Atlanta Elite Connections. I'll show it to you guys in just a second, but you want to join that Facebook page, jump in on there. There's a bunch of amazing people on it that you can get so much detail from. But by joining there, you'll be able to kind of get a better scope of, what we're doing, when we're doing it, all that fun stuff. And what we'll do is we'll set up a link in there showcasing, not showcasing, but we'll set up a link in there, invite only to this training, and we'll stream that live, but it'll be invite only. All right. And then we also talked about multifamily deals, which was amazing. I mean, talk about mind being blown. The crazy thing about it is we had Carlos and we had Keston came on, and I now call them the dynamic duo, right? Keston's mindset, Carlos is multifamily, and I don't think you can do one without the other, right? Just being transparent. If you don't have the right mindset from what Keston was explaining and teaching us about, if you don't have that GPS set, but guess what? You'll never be able to do the type of deals that Carlos was talking about because the only difference is having the mindset. I mean, Keston is a prime example of it. The guy was doing deals with me. We was talking creative finances, and then he just, boom, inside of a year, transition. Now he has a portfolio of multifamily deals, and you too could be able to know how to do that if you showed up last night. And maybe that's something we'll do on the channel. Maybe I'll see if I can invite them both to come back and do something like that on the channel. I think it'd be dope as well. And then we had the GOAT, as I like to call him, of cash buyers. Abraham came in and he talked straight creative finance for like 2 hours. And he just brought the game. He just kept showing and giving game, showing and giving game, and it was super, super dope. So again, if you missed it, sorry for you. But we're going to do more things like that, especially if you're local here in Atlanta. And if you're not local and you come into town, definitely make sure you be able to get in on that. But again, shout out to everybody jumping in. The chat is going crazy. I appreciate you all. We'll get started in just a bit. So here's the rules. Here's how it goes down. If you have a property, you want to go ahead and let's see what the number's at. The strolling, number strolling, right? Strolling right there, right? Go ahead and put that address in. Send me a message. You can send a message over to that text number right there, or you can send me a message on Facebook Messenger, Eddy Charger. If you're not following me, you should follow, so that way you'll be able to see that better. And then we'll get things popping off there. I'm gonna share my screen so you guys can see everything as well. Shout out to Jeff, man. What's going on? See, it's got some people in the house. What's going on, man? Sorry for individuals who are on Facebook. I don't know what is up with Facebook, but whenever you're on Facebook through StreamYard, if you comment, it just says Facebook user. So it kind of sucks. I don't know why that is, but we'll definitely get that situated for you guys. All right, let's see here. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna invite some folks up here. Carlos, what up, man? I'm gonna invite some folks up here. Some of these individuals was at the meeting yesterday, and we were having conversations about getting started and what that looks like, what it takes. And so I'm gonna send a link over to some of those people and get them situated. All right, so here I got this is a question we was getting last night. Bro, can you teach me how to do wholesaling in Atlanta, Georgia? And I just so happen to have some knowledge on how to do that, so I will help you out with that. Let me see if I can actually find who that is that wrote that comment. See if I can get them on here too. So let's see what's up. Shout out to Kyle. Desmond's on here. It's my guy. In fact, we're working on a deal now. We're trying to get that moving on to triplex over here in Atlanta, so we can get that moving. All right, yep, I found you. So I'm gonna send you a message. If you can jump on that message, Mr. Ortiz, and click that link, and you'll be able to join me on here. All right, what's going on? RJ's in the house. What's up, man? This is awesome. I'm loving it all. And then listen, there's tons of people that I recommend that can teach you game as well. We got a lot of people here, but you know, some of the guys and girls that I look up to, from Pace Morby, obviously you see the hat, Jamil Danji. Speaking of Jamil Danji, we have a bunch of people that are in here that are from the, they need to follow Facebook. It's Roger. Okay, Roger, I got you, bro. Yeah, definitely jump on the Facebook. Yeah, we got a bunch of people that's on here from the Astro flipping community. I'm also an Astro flipper, and they have one of the best communities that is doing real estate right now. You guys make sure you tap it in. And here's what I want: if you are in the comments, right? If you're part of the groups that I'm part of, you should be doing this. You should change your username to say what you do, like what service that you can provide, what value you can give. You should do this for every single thing that you're part of, right? So if you're like my guy Carlos in sub 2, you know what I mean? Shout out to sub 2, baby. You should be putting like, hey, Carlos for / creative financing or subject to, right? If you're an Astro flipper, you know what I mean? You should be putting boom, Eddy / Astro flipping, and then / and put your either phone number or put your email or your social media. Like mine is this, that, flips. However, people can get in contact with you quickly. You want to be able to do that because if I'm in the comments while I'm going through all this stuff right here, right? Like I want to be able to find people who like have the knowledge that I don't have, and we can squat up. If you are not squatting up in these comments, Guys and girls, you are missing the boat. I'm honored you want to come hang out with me for the next hour or so and we run comps. But listen, there is money within the community, there's partnerships within the community, and it will legit change your life. The people that came to the event last night know exactly what I'm talking about. So cool. So, all right, we got our people on here. Mr. Ortiz, can you get your camera up or no? I'm about to bring you guys in, but I need you guys to be able to show your faces if you get that camera moving for me. All right, so we'll get that started in just a little bit. Squad up Vegas, that's what I'm talking about, Roger. Put it out there, man. Put it out. Now, you have a few people that don't live in Atlanta, but they are doing business in Atlanta, right? And here's one of the main reasons why we even started Compin Atlanta, why we do the Atlanta Elite Connections. It's super important to even understand that even though you want to be able to connect with people who are teaching you amazing things, what you want to do is make sure that you are tapped in locally. So what do I mean by that? Especially if you're actually here in Atlanta. There are multiple of people that are in Atlanta that are doing millions of dollars in real estate per year, some per month. And you walk past them all the time, or you're at it and you don't even know because you're so focused on learning from a guy in North Carolina, or learning from a guy in Phoenix, or learning from a guy in Florida, or a girl in California. Your market is here in Atlanta. And I'm not saying they don't have the value to teach you, because they do, but you also are leaving the value in your backyard that can get you much, much faster, which is why we're here, right? Compin Atlanta is not about comping properties outside of Georgia. Atlanta itself is its own crazy market. I mean, how many people here know of properties that you'd be like, why is this? I don't understand. Where's the comp for this? Or how does it work like that? It doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? So definitely want to make sure you, for example, boom, look at that. Let's JV, multifamily ATL. If you were in a Phoenix group, you would have missed out on somebody in your backyard who's looking to do multifamily here. So let's get this started. Bringing up to the stage. Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Nice, nice. So look, she's shy. She's being shy. Stop acting shy. She was, listen. She's acting shy. I'm gonna tell you guys something. Last night, she was the one standing on the table. Okay, we had so much fun last night. She was standing on the table, and now she's trying to act shy in front of the millions of people that's watching. It's okay. No pressure. No pressure. No pressure. All right. So glad that you're here. I don't know if he can get his camera on. Let me see if I can find him. All right. Artist, can you get your mic out or no? If you can't, I'm gonna have to come back to you. I'll give you 3 more seconds. Looks like you're trying to. So I'll give you a few more seconds. Once you kind of got it, then I'll bring you back up. So let's start, right? We'll get into it. Yesterday, you came up to me. You had a question on how to get started, right? So what would tell your question again? Tell a little bit about yourself and what you got going on, where you're at. And I know who you are. I know the answer and all that. But the people that are watching, I want them to be able to connect with you and see where you're at. Because believe it or not, and that's Heather back there, y'all. She's like amazing. Let's not even talk about Heather. She's something else. Let's move on. So I want the people that are watching to be able to understand, like, oh, listen, I'm where she is, right? Because a lot of times we think that we're the only one in this particular situation, right? I'm the only one that's doing real estate right now that don't know what I'm doing, and everybody else does. No, that's not right. It's just the people that know what they're doing are more vocal. The people that don't say anything, right? And so you think it's only happening to you, but there's a lot of individuals who are in the same exact boat that you are. So I want you to be able to kind of share your story a little bit.
So my name is Denicia O'Hara. Um, I literally just started with real estate. I started an investment class for right now.
Mhm.
I'm still kind of trying to figure out what I want to do because I also started a course to get my license for real estate.
Nice, nice. Congrats.
So at this point, I'm just like somebody asked me a question over there, like, "What's your goal? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? What do you want?" And she
Hmm.
made me think because I thought and I know what I want, but now again, I found myself where I have to question myself, like, what do I really want? Because there are so many options, but what do I want?
Hmm.
Because I thought I want to do investing, then I find out that I want to do like renovate, and sell it. So it's just I'm kind of trying to decide what do I want to do. Like I know for sure I want to do real estate. It's just what exactly I want to kind of tackle first to like get
Right.
my in the door.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice. Perfect. Perfect. And that makes so much sense, right? Here's the crazy thing about what you said. It doesn't really, because of where we currently are, right? It doesn't truly matter what stage that you're in, because I think in this in this like moving forward, the society that we're in, there's so much flashiness,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like you could be like, you know what? I'm gonna start doing wholesaling. It's going down. I'm focused. You got all your systems down, and then you scroll up on Instagram one day and you see somebody talking about how amazing their Airbnb
Mm-hmm.
businesses, and you're like, Airbnb, that don't sound too bad. I think I like Airbnb. I mean, I would want to stay in an Airbnb. Okay, all right, cool. Let me start doing Airbnb, and then all of a sudden, you're on Facebook in 2 weeks, and somebody's telling you how they made more money from their mobile home family, package than they did from their Airbnb, and you're like, mobile homes. Wow, I like that. In fact, nobody's really talking about mobile homes. I might do mobile homes. Yeah, mobile homes. And then you come to an event last night and Carlos talks to you about how you should sell your trash because multifamily and everybody's mind goes, right? And now you're like, you know what? Multifamily, that's it. And then you look up 6 minutes, you look up 6 months later and you haven't done anything,
Yeah.
right? And you know a little bit about this, you know a little bit about that, and you try this, or you try, but you feel like, and there's a saying, the man who chased two rabbits catches none. Right? I think that saying works for women too. The woman who chases two rabbits catches none. Right? So it's about being able to focus in on, in my opinion, one thing. Right? And
Mm-hmm.
this is for everybody now. Right? So what I would say to do is this. Anyone that Peter, I got you. I see your address you sent. We'll do that one first, actually. Anyone that is looking to get started, you first have to figure out a couple of things about yourself that you may not have even ever addressed and asked yourself. The number one most important thing you gotta say is why. Why are you doing this? If the answer is because you want to make money, then you have to ask yourself: is are you needing to make money for right now, or are you needing to make money for the future? Now, granted, some people can say both. I need actually all three. I need now, the future, and the past. That's how fast I need to make money, right? But here's the thing. If you don't know what you're going after, every single thing that comes your way now becomes what you should be doing, right? Because if, for example, if you are focused on making money now, then there's a bunch of stuff that you don't need to pay attention to. If you're focused on making money now, you don't need to be focused on doing fix and flips. Because
Mm-hmm.
fix and flips could take you 4 to 6 months. You don't really need to be focused on doing multifamily. Because sometimes multifamily could take you a long time. If you are saying like, hey, listen, I wanna get in, I wanna make some money, and you're like, I need money, like I need it now. Like I want to leave my job. That's a perfect one. A lot of people, I want to leave my job so I can really focus on what I truly want to do, and I want to use real estate to do it. Well, you don't need to be talking about land deals, Because a land deal could take you anywhere from 6 months to a year, right? So imagine, I think I gave you guys this example last night. So, and this is one of the reasons why I became more and more vocal, right? I became more vocal simply because a lot of people are telling the truth in their videos. And some of these people are my friends. So I'm not shying back from anything, right? I'm gonna be 100% transparent. That's all I know how to do.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are giving the truth, but they're not giving you the whole truth. So if I show you this check right here, this is my check, okay? Boom, you know how they do it. This is my check, I just got it, and we did 30,000, and boom, okay, cool, great. But what you didn't tell me in that post is that it took you 9 months to get your first 30,000 check.
Mm-hmm.
Or even real transparent, that you were broke for 9 months to get you that $30,000 check. And sometimes we don't even go into details as far as like, it took me spending 15,000 over the course of 9 months to get this $30,000 check. But do you see how that changes the perception of like what you want to do at that point? Because now you're like, okay, well, maybe this is not what I want. And so because we don't get the whole truth, we get the truth, but not the whole truth. What ends up happening is you end up saying, oh, I like this, but you know what? This looks good, but man, I want this. And so we're going to fix that. We're going to work on that today. So we're going to, and I'm always going to give information and work with people with stuff that you can use right now. Because I've been in that scenario where I go sit in a meeting or jump on a call or watch a video and come to find out afterwards, I still don't know what the hell to do next. To me, I hate those. And
Yeah.
I had it happen to me, and I promise I would never do that to people. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you, Denny, what is it that you're looking to accomplish? Like, are you currently working right now?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. So the first thing that you have to do is, do you like your job, or is this just something you're doing to take care of yourself?
Doing to take care of myself.
Okay, perfect. These are questions I really want you guys to start being able to understand. Like, okay, I need to start asking myself these too. Because if you don't, I promise you, you're doing the business, but you're doing it wrong. You're gonna struggle later on. Okay. So am I working a job that I currently like? If you currently like your job, then the way you move next is gonna be different because you're not trying to eliminate your job. You're trying to replace the job income so that when you come to work, it's no longer about the check, it's just you, right? So, and that could be any position. You could be, working part-time at Walmart, or you could be a doctor. And you're like, I just love doing this. I love the people here. And if I didn't have to worry about money, I would come do this still, right? But you have the job that is just for what you make. So without getting too in your personal business, give me a ballpark on how much you bring in per month.
Per month, I will say 2,500.
About 2,500. Okay. All right. So we're about to go deep. Hold on a second. All right. I'm about to give you guys some stuff. I wish I had my board up. I can write anything down for you guys. But here's how we're going to do this, right? So if you are, and everybody that's sending me text messages to the phone number, I am getting those, and we will go through them. I promise you. Okay. So if your goal is, you said you make about 2,500 a month. In the beginning, you guys should have two main goals: your need goal and your want goal. Your need goal should be twice as much as whatever you bring in currently. That's your need goal. That's essentially to be able to replace what you currently earn on your job and a little bit more. So for you, I would say one $5,000 check on top of what you're currently earning at your job is a good place to be. Right? Now your want goal is 4 times as much of what you need, what you bring in each month. Right? So you're bringing in 2,500. Now your want goal will be 4 times that amount. And everybody use your own situation to kind of fill in the blanks for those. right? So now you have your financial goals. We're going to start with your need goal first. So
Mm.
now everything that we do from here on out is going to be, what business should I go into that's going to be able to get me $5,000 a month
Mm.
each month for, let's say, the next 3 months. If I work hard for each month, I want to be able to make $5,000. Not at the end of the 3 months, I get $5,000 each month. Each 30 days, I get a check for 5K minimum, right? In my honest opinion, wholesaling is probably going to be the easiest and best solution for that,
Mm-hmm.
because your entry level can be extremely low,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, even just in wholesaling, there's so many ways you can go about wholesaling that I want to be able to make sure that we can figure that out. So, Mr. Ortiz, I hope you get in this as well. I want to say your first name, but I'm a 90% chance sure I'm going to legit mess it up. So I'm just going to keep calling you Mr. Ortiz until you tell me you can jump on and you can correct me. So now that you know your number goal, we know what business you should possibly get into. And I have to ask you, does that make sense to you? And is that something that you want to do? Because you could say, well, no, I don't want to do wholesaling. And we would have to come up with something different.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
So,
with wholesaling, I will just have to like learn more exactly how it gets done, what it really means, and because
mhm.
a lot about it, because I focus myself on other stuff that I thought I should be doing. Like
Perfect.
getting the real.
Perfect.
So I haven't really.
Yeah. That's perfectly fine. So I don't want you, to feel like, you know what, I do like this, but I don't know nothing about it. So that's gonna change, what my answer should be. Don't worry if you don't know anything about it. In fact, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Think about it like this. It's like saying, oh, I want to go to school to become a doctor, but you know what? I don't really know too much about medicine, so maybe I don't need to go to school to be a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, you're gonna go learn, right? And so now you're gonna start your learning phase, and we're gonna teach you how to get into that. So now, wholesaling is what you're saying, you know what, this sounds like a good idea. I can make $5,000 a month. Let's do it. Now you have to fully understand something. This is for everybody. When you are wholesaling, there are several different departments. Like for me, full transparency, I do not do everything in my wholesaling business. In the beginning, I did. I wore every single hat in my wholesaling business. I did not have to, by the way, but I chose to because I knew I wanted to replace myself in the different, let's say, departments. In order to do that, I want to be able to train my people how to do that. Some people have another way of thinking that they know what's supposed to be done, but they don't need to do it themselves, and they just hire people in those positions. Either way work. I couldn't do that. I needed to go through it myself so that I can be able to train. So, for example, I've made, at this point, it's probably hundreds of thousands of phone calls. When I first got my first deal, I made thousands of phone calls before I got my first deal. And when I came time to train my cold caller, guess who had thousands of phone call experience to train my cold caller? I did, right? So that's why I did it that way. But there's several departments in your business. You don't necessarily have to be the one doing all of them. In the beginning, maybe. Okay. So I'm saying that to you because I don't. A lot of times, we'll watch some of the people that we watch on the personalities on YouTube and different types of social media platforms, and we end up not seeing the whole team. We just see one person. Hey, I closed another deal today. All right. One of my partners closed 5 deals today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at 5 deals at a closing table. He's one of my brokerage partners. In fact, he's actually the youngest broker in Atlanta, Georgia. Top brokerage. Shout out to my guy Nico. He closed 5 deals today. Now, when he posted that, you would have saw that and you would just assume Nico was killing it because he closed 5 deals.
Mm-hmm.
But Nico has a team and business partners And collectively, that's who closed the 5 deals. Nico didn't talk to all of those sellers. Nico didn't talk to all of those buyers. Other individuals did. Make sense?
Mhm.
So now this isn't the platform for this. Obviously, this is Compin Atlanta. So we can probably do another call and we can record it, or we can do it live and we can have people come in and be able to ask questions on how to get started. But honestly speaking, there's tons of videos. You guys can follow Pace, Jamil, Brent Daniels, Mr. TCP. You know, those guys. Locally, you guys can follow Ty the Investor. You can follow Abraham. Like, they have videos and stuff going through breaking down all the different ways and steps and all that with wholesaling. All right. Even with um, old videos like Max Maxwell, right? Like, Max is my guy out in North Carolina. He has videos that are up that I'm still shocked. Like, it's amazing that you only have this many views on there, that breaks down his whole entire business, wholesaling, who's in what department, what seat, and etc. So the information is out there. All right. So I don't know why you're like, man, you got me excited and then you just went to comping. Well, this is Comping Atlanta. So we're gonna get to some comps. But I want to give you guys like the basis of what you need. Now, with that being said, here's what I highly, highly recommend. If you truly want to be able to learn all the different departments in wholesaling, this is my recommendation. I recommend you go work for somebody.
Mhm.
Go work for someone. I would negotiate working for free. And I'm saying this because it's exactly what I did. Okay, my story is I was working third shift at Amazon as a logistics specialist, and I was doing that part time, but I was working full time hours. Okay, I was doing 80 hours third shift, and I had a lot of time to listen to podcasts. And I started with Sean Terry, and I made my way down to Wholesaling Inc. Right with Todd, and then from there is where I got into listening to a gentleman here in Atlanta, local, right? His name is Brendan Barr. Shout out to Brendan, that's my guy, right? He's actually another individual that you can learn a tremendous amount of stuff from. But I called him. I reached out to him. Okay, I got my stalker bag, and I found his phone number. Reached out to him. And I said, "Listen, I will come and babysit the kids. I'll wash the dishes. I will mow the lawn if you just show me how to do what you do in real estate." Honestly, got truth. You can check with him and see. He'll tell you the exact same thing. And essentially, what ended up happening is he was like, "All right, cool, come on out." He lived at the time an hour away from me, and I drove every day for an hour for free. And I know gas is expensive now, but it was not cheap then either. And I went over there and I just learned. I learned by listening to him cold call. I learned from watching him and his wife be able to negotiate deals, how they dealt with agents. Like, I watched and learned all of this, and then he put me on the phone. Oh, will you start making calls? And I was scared shitless. Like, I'm about to mess this guy's business up. Like, legit, that was my thought process. Oh, this guy's making tons of money, and now he's making zero, because once I get on the phone, it's a wrap. But I was in his home and he was right next to me. So when I'm making calls and making mistakes, he would say, "Okay, try this next time. Try this next time." And it encouraged me to keep going. Eventually, what ends up happening, working for free, I started making him money. I never asked for a dime. He started to feel so guilty because we was making so much money that he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna pay you per hour." And I was like, "Perfect." He's like, "And you don't have to come in, you can work at home." So now I became a cold caller, working at home, getting paid per hour, killing it. And then it got to the point where it was like, okay, I think I'm ready to do this on my own, which was scary as hell. Because guess what? That $20 an hour stopped coming. So it was just me punching in the clock. And I knew the only way to do it is I had to get to 1,000 calls, 1,000 people that I actually spoke to as fast as I possibly can. And so what I did, and I'm not saying this is for everybody because everybody's situation is different. But what I did is I worked 6 days a week and I would rest on the Sabbath. Legit, I would work from Sunday to Friday, 6 hours a day, and I would at least try to be able to get 4 leads. And that's all I did until I finally got my first deal and I started branching out, right? Hiring people, systems, and all that stuff. Okay. But the point I'm trying to say is, um, the point I'm trying to say is, yes, actually, no. So this just came in the comments. Quentin Flores is amazing. He's also my guy out in Texas. He has tons of superstar amazing stuff that he does on cold calling. So if you're watching and you're in the point in your business where you're trying to get your skills up as a cold caller, his cold calling stuff I think is probably top three, honestly, stuff on YouTube. So definitely check him out. It's my guy, Quentin Flores. I put him on here. Shout out to Roger. Roger asked me that. So, yeah, you know Quentin? Yeah, man, I know Quentin. It's my guy. So, all right, so let's recap. So here's what we got. So Denny, we know wholesaling is the way for you to go, right? And what we know is $5,000 is what you need per month, right? You can do that several ways. You can do that by JVing with someone. You can do that by doing your own deal, right? And either way, no matter which pattern that you choose, it's going to net you the amount of money you're looking for, guaranteed. Okay. Now, what I was talking to you before is, now why do I suggest starting for somebody else when you can start for yourself or by yourself? Simple. If you start for yourself, any mistakes that you make, only you know it. What I'm trying to do is get you to shorten the curve here. All right, take away the learning curve. If you call sellers and you kill a call, the only person that heard you kill that call was you. So for you, you're just like, it didn't work. But if you had someone there to either hear the call after or right there live with you, listening to you make those calls and pouring into you, guess what? You learn 10 times faster, and now your next couple of calls are going to be better. So I'm not saying working for yourself is not good. What I'm saying is the shortcut to success is to go work for someone else. Whether it's paid or free, doesn't freaking matter. Because you're going to go work for yourself anyway one day, regardless. Right? Now, here's another reason why I like the idea of working for somebody else. In the beginning, especially. In the beginning, you don't know what you don't know. You ever hear anybody say that? You don't know what you don't know, right? So being able to take your time to realize, like, you know what? I like being on the phone, but I don't like negotiating. I like negotiating, but I don't like talking to buyers. I like talking to buyers, but I hate talking to agents. You get to kind of like do like a test run in all these different departments of the business without it relying so much on you to succeed, one, and the space to be able to get better when you're working for somebody. And two, you're not spending any money. I know people that have come to me that are spending 5,000 or less, 10,000 or less, 15,000 or less, and are not making any money wholesaling. And that is the prime example of someone I would say you should come work for somebody else so that you can learn what you don't know, then go spend that money. You should go work for somebody else so you can learn before you quit your job and start making money from your side hustle. Then you can be, is that making sense?
If you're talking to me, yes, perfect.
Okay, good. Okay. I'm talking through you, right?
Okay.
You're the representation, but I promise you, there's so many people that are so in line with what you're talking about and what you're going through right now, right? So what I recommend, and now you and I, we kind of already spoke, so we'll continue the conversation offline. As soon as we get done, let's get on the phone, and I'll map it out for you, right? Like, here's what you want to do next. Here's how you want to do it, and we'll go based off of what you like, right? You may know, like, hey, I don't know, I don't like this or that, and I'll make sure to get you in the right spot so that you can start doing that as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then he says, I'm finding a lot of run through provided lists while doing cold calling and trying to JV is at the 1,000 call. So this is really good. So yes, you are gonna find a lot of people that's like, you're the 20th person that called me. What's wrong with you guys? Or my favorite is when you call, and this is legit your first time ever speaking to this person, and they curse you out because you kept calling them. This is the 7th time you called them today. That's my personal favorite because it's like, how did I just dialed your number? This is the first time I'm calling it, right? And that happens, right? But here's the thing, guys. The way you win in this game is from follow up. Most people don't want to hear that because it's not sexy. What's sexy is this. Hey, Mr. Seller, how you doing? Oh, great. Yeah, this is Eddy. Oh, yes, yes. You heard of me? Perfect, perfect. I was calling you about your house. Oh, I know you're ready to sell. Exactly. Yeah. I'll give you $2. That works for you? Perfect. I'll send the contract over. Okay, cool. Hey, Mr. Buyer, I got a property for 100 grand. You'll take it? Okay, perfect. Check comes in 10 seconds later, and now you made, I don't know, 100 grand minus $2, right? 98,000, whatever that, I don't even know what that number is right now. The point is, it's not easy, right? It's definitely not easy to do this at all. The follow-up game is the hardest part of the game. Is being able to get cursed out because the seller thinks you are the same person that been playing on their phone, calling 7 times in a row, apparently, right? Like, but that's where the money is at. The money is in the follow-up, guys. I promise you. The money is in the follow-up. Some of my biggest deals that I got were from people who cursed me out. And how do I know they cursed me out? I have it in my notes. I legit have the guy picked up and called me at X, Y, and Z, this, that, and third. Now you might be saying, well, why would I put that in notes? It's because I use that. When I call my sellers and I'm following up, and they're like, man, who's this? And I tell them, yeah, I'm Eddy. Remember last time we was on the phone, you called me a dickhead. I figured you were just having a bad day. Oh yeah, man. Listen, I apologize. I'm so sorry about that. We just going through a lot, man. But I'm glad you called. You guys still looking to buy? Like we were able to get through that. Now, if I would have still been able to do that if I didn't write those notes down. But it helps him relate to me and knowing that even though you cursed me out, I still called you back because I'm trying to offer value, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just like, and this is not to like come on anyone's intelligence or anything as far as like the sellers goes, but think of it like this: like if you have kids, 90% of the stuff that kids want to do is just play and eat junk food. Like anything that is worthwhile, you have to be like, no, you're not going to do that. And they might whine and this kind of third or whatever. But then when you actually get them what they actually needed, that's going to be for the benefit of themselves or whatever, everybody's happy, right? It's a great day. You think the kid is like looking at you crazy after you gave them what is better for them, and they're like, man, even though I really enjoy this food that you're giving me and I thought was going to be extremely nasty because what I really wanted was McDonald's, you think they're like, okay, let's still go and have McDonald's? I'm like, no, this is great. I just thought it was bad for me. But now that I know it's not, I like it, right? It's the same thing with sellers. These are people that are in situations, in particular scenarios that they did not think their life would bring them here. Mm-hmm. And they're getting bombarded with phone calls from strangers who sound like they want to help, but it sounds more so like they're just really after the money. And it takes them a while to be able to fish through all of that and find a person that's actually on the phone that wants to help them. This is how the mindset should be of every single person that's listening to my voice. You should be focused on helping people. The money will come by default. I promise you. Because sometimes you'll help someone do the deal and the amount of money you're supposed to get, or even better, you get no money. And the person gets the benefit, or they get to keep their house, or whatever it is. But then 2, 3 deals later, you get the biggest wholesale check that you've ever gotten, to the point where you it got deposited into your bank account, because you're pretty sure that this amount is illegal, you left it in there for a few days. Like, you're not trying to take it out, because you know as soon as you take it out, that's when you've broken the law, right? So you leave it in there. Like, my first check was like that. My first check was for 30,000. And it was such a large check from doing real estate for my first time. And I'll tell the whole story another day, but that it was such a crazy story that I swore, even though the deal was done, the money was in my account, I swore I was gonna get a phone call. Hey, Mr. Charger, we need you to come down to the station, or we need you to come down to the bank, right? So I left the check in there for like 30, for not 30 days, for 3 days. For 3 days, I left the check because I just knew they was gonna hit me back and say, hey, we're gonna put a freeze on it, whatever. After the third day, I woke up early in the morning, snapped to my senses, and I withdrew every freaking penny of that 30 grand. But nonetheless, that's how people feel, right? So you definitely have to be able to put yourself in a position to serve, right? And if you do that, I promise you, the money will come. More money will come, and you know what to do with. Okay, so before we kind of switch over and go straight into Compin Properties, do you have any questions based off of what we talked on so far? Are you like, this was all great, but I'm still lost. I don't know what the hell to do. Or did it help a little bit?
Would it be a way for me to, like, since I kind of know a little bit what I would like to do, will somehow wholesaling like help me get in that direction?
Well, tell me, let's do that. What is it that you like to do?
What do you call
Oh, renovate.
it? Mm-hmm. The renovating.
So you want to do, when you say renovate, like fix and flips?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so for you, this is what I would tell you to do. I think you should wholesale still,
No.
because
Yeah.
fix and flips is more of a mid to long term return,
Yeah.
right? Unless you can find something you can fix and flip in 4 weeks, which is possible. They do that, they have that. But what I would recommend is you wholesale, and while you're wholesaling, you connect with some individuals to learn how to do fix and flips. I think one of the best ways to do that is to be a project manager.
Mm-hmm.
By being a project manager, you get to be at the projects of different individuals, and you get to learn how they deal with their contractors, how they deal with, something going wrong or something going right, and you're learning for free,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then from being a project manager, you can transition into like, okay, hey, can I come from the investor? Can I talk and work directly with an investor, right? But that's how I would do it. In fact, if that's truly what you want to do, I'll connect you with somebody I know here locally who is amazing, just an amazing human being. Her name is Bianca. I'll connect you with her, and she can kind of set you off on that, because that's some of her aspirations too, and she's already like kicking butt in that direction. So I'll connect you with her.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Sure. Thank you.
Thanks, Eddy.
You should. You should. Like, I need to see jumping off the. Yeah. I need that energy back. All right. Good. All right. So we're gonna get started in complex and properties. Got some questions here in the back. You guys, I'm gonna take you off the screen so that way you guys don't feel pressured to just
Thanks,
be on
Eddy.
here smiling all day. But if you have a question or anything, definitely put it in the chat. We'll get things moving. Roger, what's the best website to view properties for wholesale? What do you mean by that, Roger? Roger, are you somewhere that you can jump on here with us? So we're waiting for Roger to come back with us. And while we're doing that, let me go ahead and get things started for our comps. Not right now. Okay, so Roger, tell me a little bit more. What do you mean by um, what's the best website to view properties for wholesales? All right. So we're gonna go now. How many people here have PropStream? If you have PropStream, let me know in the chat. I'm trying to decide which tools should we use. Should we be using PropStream today? Should we use the MLS? Should we use Zillow? Type in the chat what you typically use for comping, and that's what we'll use. All right, you said, where can I view and find some? Okay, so Roger, it sounds like you're asking in the sense of being able to buy properties. Is that what you're talking about? Thank you, my guy Ray, chiming in. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Hope people get some benefit off of that. Dropping jewels, man. That's what it is, man. All right. So we got PropStream. We got Backflip, Zillow, PropStream. We got MLS. All right. So let's do. I'm getting a lot of prop streams, so we'll do prop streams. And another time that we come on here, we will do MLS. I think it's important to kind of show that too. For sure, Alex, for sure. Appreciate you chiming in too. So let's jump in. Let me share my screen. Let's see. All right. Let me know if you guys can see my screen in the chat, please. Let's see. What's the best way to do it? There you go. I'll make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see. If you guys wanted to know who's that handsome individual in the back, that's me. Just making sure because only side of my face is showing. But also you see a little gator right here. We are doing gator lending. And if you were here last night, you know what I'm talking about. But essentially, we're helping individuals who need earnest money, especially with what we taught. You might want to stop doing the $100, $10 earnest money. You're going to get beat out of your deals ASAP, I promise you. And we're also doing transactional lending. So if anybody needs help with that on a particular deal, even if you might even need a buyer, right? Go ahead and just shoot me a message, hit me up on a DM, and I'll connect you with the team that's doing that. So let's get started. I got my first address from my guy Peter. We're going to chime this in, and then we got a bunch of people that sent us message on the chat. And so we're going to jump into. So here's what I'm going to do. This first one here, I'm going to give a little bit of detail when I go through it. But after this first one, I'm just going to start comping it for you guys because I'm going to make sure I get as many properties comp as I possibly can. Right? So we'll go through. So this one right here looks like it could possibly land. Yeah, it does right here. Vacant land. So this is a land deal. So comping land is a little bit different in general, honestly, because it kind of just depends on your location and if there's other properties around you that are land, right? So as I zoom in, here's the property here. I don't really see any other land nearby. Now we can definitely go in a little bit deeper. Let's go into comps here. All right, so we'll do MLS. Now can you do can you do public record? You can, but I like using the MLS data. So it's up to you. Shout out to, I really wish your name was coming up here. I apologize. Shout out to Facebook user. Before I do that, I wanted to make sure I show you guys this. I had it over and I didn't show you. So this is the group chat right here, and this is the group. So if you guys aren't connected to us and you want to join this Atlanta, elite REI connections, and you'll be able to catch up on everything that we got going on when we're doing it. All right, so here's the comps. What I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm looking for vacants. So I'm going to see if there's a way that I can look for vacant. Now, me personally, I don't like going out a mile or longer. Typically, all the comps that I do is um, is typically going to be half a mile, right? Quarter of a mile is where I start. If it doesn't work out, if I don't have enough comps, I'll go half a mile. Then I'll go to a mile, but I never go past a mile. Now, if we're talking about big plots of land, so acres, then I go within 5 mile radius. Okay. Now, with a vacant property, you have options. You can either look for other vacant plots of land, right, that have sold. So I did residential here, property type, single family. I think there's actually a vacant right here. You can look for it. Let's see. Timeshare. Oh no, they don't have it here. Okay. So here's all residentials that are sold. This is already marked at a year. And because this is land, you can actually go back past 6 months. If this was a straight house, 6 months or less. If it's land, you can go past 6 months. You can actually go up to 2 years. Why can't you go up to 2 years when it's land? Because it typically takes longer for them to build property. So you want to be able to do that. What is a comp? A comp is a comparable. So as investors, and everyone here is an investor, I don't care if you're wholesaling or whatever, you're an investor, you wholesale as a exit strategy, okay? As investors, the only reason why we have any understanding and why we deal with comps is because that's what appraisals use to value property. So when we buy cash. So we don't care. We're buying as is market, as is price today. When we're selling on the market typically, and that's when the property is all fixed up and we're listing it with an agent, and they normally comp to be able to find comparables. So other houses, basically apples to apples. So what do I mean by that? If my house that I'm trying to sell is a brick house, and it's 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and it's 1,400 square feet. I can only compare it to other houses that sold relatively close in the neighborhood or within the mile distance. That is brick, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, same square footage, and around the same year built. I cannot look at a comp that the house difference in year built is 10 years or 20 years. That is not a comp. Okay. So you can look through here to be able to see. Now, what I would do, I would first change this year built. I would actually go with, because you see here, there's 100 properties here, right? And majority, we already know, is not vacant properties. Let me see. I know there's a way to look up vacant. Here it is, vacant land. There you go. All right. So now let's go back 2 years. I'm gonna do July 7th. All right, so there's no vacant properties. Oh, this is a mile. So let's do a mile, the beginning thing. All right, let's do not 15 miles, but 5 miles. Nothing. Okay, so there's been no vacant lots in this area or nowhere near it for the last 2 years. So what does that mean? Does that mean, oh, there's no way to comp this? Not necessarily. There's two other options you could do. And Roger, for sure, you know, Roger's apologizing for asking a lot of questions. This is exactly why we do this, Roger. So don't ever think that you can ask too many questions. This is why we're here, okay? So what you want to do with this property, if you're not able to look up a property like this, what you can do is go back to this area again. I would go down to Let's go a mile. And what I would do is I would go, let's try to do 6 months. I'm gonna go to last 6 months. So February 1st, or February the 7th, actually. And at this point, I'm not looking for vacant land. I'm looking for residentials. Let's look for a property that is built. Let's do 2,500 square feet. Now, how do I know 2,500 square feet is what I'm looking for? It's very simple. It's because Peter asked for a property that's 2,500 square feet. So what Peter's trying to do is trying to look what would a property that is 2,500 square feet, relatively new built or new rehab, what did that sell for? And then from there, you can just kind of like backwards engineer it, right? So let's look at this again. We'll take this down to half a mile. And then let's do year built. So here's what you want to do. For year built, we're going to do obviously this year. And we'll go back. Let's do 2 years. All right, so nothing is showing on here that goes back 2 years that is in that price range. Is rehab like fixing the house? Yes, rehab is fixing the property. That's absolutely correct. How much do you typically use for EMD on a signed contract? Well, if you are looking to separate yourself for EMD, I would tell you do this. I would tell you to maybe you could start off with 5,000, and if you're getting some sort of like the seller is giving you some sort of feedback or whatever like that, you can go up to 10,000, right? But typically, if I come in and I say, okay, we're gonna put down 5,000 EMD, and you came in and you said we'll put down 1,000 EMD, who do you think the seller's gonna go with? Right? They're gonna go with mine first. So here's another property here. We still not able to get the right comp. So what would I do in this scenario? I'll tell you exactly what I would do. I would, especially if you're using PropStream, I would come out of here. Let me see, who owns this? So this is developers that actually own this property, which is interesting that they are looking to sell it. So what I would do is I would try to reach out to other people that sold in this property. So I'm gonna change my thing here real quick, right? So I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna go 1,000. All right. So Peter, what you want to do is you want to either reach out to agents. You want to reach out to agents or investors who brought in this area recently, and you want to just ask them like, hey, who's a contractor that you know? Like here's a cash buyer. So I'll reach out to this person here and see how serious of the cash buyer they are. Pretty serious. They got 7 properties. They know what they're doing. All right. And then I would reach out to the agent that they have attached to this. So call Karen and just say, hey, Karen, I got this property. I'm looking to sell it. It's vacant land. Do you know any investors or developers who may be interested in it? That's the first thing I would do. The second thing I would do is I would come back here, and here's your property here. I would be reaching out to this person here, number 1, and number 2. I would look up who owns the property. Travis. All right, Travis, how long had they owned it? For 2 years. Perfect. So I would call Travis, and then I'll be calling the Smiths. And I would be telling them, I got this property next door, vacant land. We're thinking about building on it. We're just not sure yet. We wanted to ask you, do you want to buy this property first? That's how you take care of that. There's always a way. Guys, what do? We're problem solvers. That's what we do the most, right? And so if we get stuck in one way that we was going to do something, we can maneuver and be able to figure another way to get to the end result. All right. Hope that made sense to everybody. I'm about to get the next address really quick. All right. All right. So let's jump to the next address. If you guys have a question on that, let me know. I'm in the studio by myself today, so you're gonna excuse me for Shadow Rock Drive. All right, so Shadow Rock Drive in Lithonia. Jonathan's property. All right, so Jonathan, here we go. So we got 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1940 built. You see there's absolutely no pictures on here. Typically what I like to do is I still like to use Zillow just because sometimes Zillow might have pictures for me. All right, this is it here. All right, so Zillow has a picture. All right, so this is what the house looks like. Why do I really want to see what the house looks like? Because remember, we talked about apples to apples. So if I see a comp and it's brick, I'm not going to use it as a comp. Even though everything else matches, I won't use that as a comp unless I really, really, really have to. All right, so let's go to comparables. So we know this property is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So first thing I'm gonna do is, typically my prop stream is already set. So you'll see this square footage of the property is gonna be dead smack in the middle of the lowest and the highest, right? Because I typically do 200 square feet below and 200 square feet above, okay? So here I'm gonna change the, oh no, I don't have, yeah, change this. So this is set at a year. I'm going to change it to 6 months. And then I'm going to put 3 bedrooms. And I'll leave it at 3 bedrooms. I don't typically go down to the bathrooms unless I have to. And I do that simply because there may be room on the property that we can build out on the property, right? Like we can actually like add an extra bathroom. So I want to really look at more so the 3 bedrooms, because adding 3 bedrooms is adding an extra bedroom is a lot more than adding a bathroom at times. Okay, so here we are. So as you can see, actually we're in this property here. So here's my property. Now my property is right here, and the comps looks like it's over here. So number 1 right there, and then you have 3 and 5. Where's the other one? Oh, they're all the same. I said, because I got this selected. Let me just click MLS. All right, so we got 3. So 1, 2, 3. Here's the thing about this now. If you pay attention, this crosses the street, Shadow Rock Drive, right? So I have to figure out, is my property on the left side of this or closer to this house? So my property is on this side of the street. If my property was on this side of the street, I would have no problem using it as a comp. Now, if there's no other comps, then maybe I got no choice. But let's look first and see, is Shadow Rock Drive a major street? So Shadow Rock Drive goes from here to here and it gets cut off. So me personally, I would not call Shadow Rock Drive a major street. Now, I would call Stone Mountain, Lithonia Road a major street, because you see that it's coming all the way down here and it still goes, right? See, you guys see what I'm saying? Like that's a major street to me. But for me, Shadow Rock is not a major street. So I'll probably use this as a comp. So here's some comps we're looking at. Now, this here subject property is 1940 built. This property is 1940 built. This is 1983. This is 1983. These two are not comps. All right. So according to PropStream, this property here, number one, and we'll go to it in a second, recently sold about 2 months ago. Sold for 165, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, similar square footage. I love PropStream because PropStream gives, I don't think there's anybody that gives more details about information from different places than PropStream does. PropStream is telling me that this property is sold at $120.97 for the square footage. Now, let's jump into this property and see what kind of condition did it sell at. Because if this sold as is, then all I have to do is compare it to my property, which is in the better shape. If it's sold in great condition, then I know what the max value of the property. That would be my new ARV, right? Now I don't get no pictures here, but here's the benefit. Again, another reason why I love PropStream. If I hit MLS details, they typically will give you all the details about like the property itself. What it, like if it had something done to it or whatever. Now this one isn't, but you see it was on the market for 43 days. Let's see what other details it gives me. All right, I don't see any other details. Go to property details again. Let's see. Look, this is so funny. This is so funny. All right, so Jonathan, this buyer, and this is why you guys gotta know your buyers. This buyers, that's my guy Abraham. So Jonathan, here's what I'm gonna tell you. Reach out to Abraham. If you don't have his contact information, reach out to me, and I'll get you connected with him, and let him know like, hey, I got a property I just brought, or I'm thinking about buying. I want to wholesale it to you. I saw you had a property across the street. How much do you want to buy this property for? And now you don't even have to worry about the comps. So you see how like just by being able to do your due diligence and your research, you're able to see exactly what's going on in the neighborhood, including the buyers and agents that are there. And our first two comping deals that we did, the first one was for the agent for the land deal, and the other one is for a cash buyer that could easily tell you what they'll pay for it. So you don't even have to worry about it. But if I was going to use a comp, this would be my comp, and I would say the price was 165. I would also try to see if this property was already rehabbed, the one that Abraham flipped, or did he just sell it quickly without doing any work to it? Let's see if Google tells us anything. So let's go to Zillow real quick. Here's a property here. All right, so outside looks regular. Don't see anything too crazy. Let's go down. Here, 3 bedroom, large boats, could be used as 4 rooms, there's 4 porch. Back porch for grilling. Home has a lot of space on the inside that'll surprise you. Had a tenant in place when they actually sold the property. So I would assume this property was sold as is. There's nothing in the details that's telling me that anything was remodeled or anything like that. And so I would go that the property was sold as is. And before this sale, let's see, 4-3 had a pending sale. It was listed on the 418. Okay. Yeah, so I would definitely just reach out to the buyers in here and tell them, give you a price. That's right, apples to apples. So if you saw my property that we had, the subject property, you saw how that looked on the outside, you'll see this property here is the same exact thing, right? It's exactly how it looked on the outside. So here's our property. Here's our property right here. Here's a property that's sold across the street. Apples to apples, baby. Apple a day keeps the doctor away. That's what they say. All right. So let's jump into the next property. We're going to get these comps flowing. Again, if you got a property that you want us to comp, go ahead and put it in the chat or Facebook message. We'll get it through. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so I got Charlie. Charlie just sent me something. Let's see. What is that? Southeast? No, southwest. There you go. All right, let's check this one out. So here we have this property. Charlie just sent over to us. All right, guys, give me 1 second. We got tons of messages. I want to make sure we don't miss anybody out. And so here's what we do. If anybody had something that they did not get comped, let's say I missed your message or whatever like that, after this is all over, shoot me a message on IG, right? DM me and just be like, hey, I was on Compin Atlanta and my property didn't get comped. Can you help me? And I will set some time with you and we'll comp it. All right, we'll still go through it. All right, so with that being said, let's move on and get these other properties. Hold on. All right, boom. All right, so Rosemary Ave, a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, year built 1945. Let's jump into this and see what's popping. We see the picture of the house already, so we're good. Looks like got some brick to it. Look at the inside. Now these pictures may or may not be accurate. I mean, up to date. For the sake of the comp, we're just gonna assume they're up to date. If there's new pictures involved, then you'd have to let me know. But we're gonna assume this is up to date pictures. Let's go to comps. And I'm telling you guys, like once you start to learn this, you can see just how like fast we're going through this. It's gonna be crazy. Let's do it again. 6 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3-bedroom. Again, I'm not too worried about the bathroom for right now. All right, let's do MLS only. So I got 12. So now that I have 12, that's a little bit too much. I don't have to run through all that. So we'll put it in the bathroom now, see how it lowers it. Doesn't. Did absolutely nothing. All right. Let's do, well, let's see. Maybe that's just, so first and foremost, if you see down here, see all these properties on the other side of Cascade? So here's Cascade Avenue. If you know Atlanta, you know that's a pretty big major street. So all of these properties are not comps. We're not going to be using those in the comps, all right? So let's go ahead and just take them off the ticker. So we got 12, 10, I can't tell what this number is yet, but 4, 8, 6, we take off. What are you? 11. All right, boom. So now we got the right comps. And typically, anytime you have like a park or something in between your comps, that can change the price. Okay, it can change the price. You have some neighborhoods, or just like train tracks, for example. On one side of train tracks, properties $1 million. On the other side, properties are at 100,000. So you got to pay attention to that to see if that's a main difference as well. So we got 3, 5, and 7. We're gonna pay attention to those and see if that matters. 9 is fine. It's not doing too much. Let's see if it. So you have Beecher Circle. That turns into Beecher Road. Beecher Road. Okay, so here's something right here. 7, 3, and 8. I'm sorry, 7, 3, and 9. I wouldn't use because they cross Beecher. and Beecher Road. So this is interesting. You have Beecher Street that turns into Beecher Road, and Beecher Road goes all the way down and turns into Boulevard. Okay, so would this change my idea? Maybe it doesn't. Let's see if we can get the comps that we need from 1, 2, and maybe 9, or 1, 2, and 5 right here. So let's look at those first and foremost. So here we have 3 bedroom, 1 bath. All right, so 1 is now out the picture because it's a 4 bedroom. None of these are 1 baths. These are all 3 2s. So that's something to keep in mind already. But let's look at the year built. Our property year built is 1945. So this would have been a good one, but it's an extra bedroom and bathroom. I mean, extra bedroom, so that's going to be too much. Can't do that. And then we have, let's see, 19. So it's 1953. That's still too much. So we can't use 53. We do have number 2, that's 35. So it makes the 10-year mark, but we'll take a look at that and see. Number 5 is 1929. That makes the 10-year mark on the bottom side, but that probably is not going to be a comp. 1940, this one is a comp. So we'll take out the 1929, but let's take a look at it first. Wait, hold on. Nope, 1929 won't work, guys, because it's a 4 bedroom. So no need to take a look at it. That's not. So let's take a look at it. That's not a comp. 12. You see now that we're really just down to 2. We got number 2 here. It's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Same, pretty much the same year built. And then we got number 9. And then number 7 is 1950 that we can use. But in full transparency, if a appraiser is looking at this, more than likely they're not going to count number 2 because the year built is 1945. But let's see, where is it on the map? It was close. It's right here. It's actually one of the better ones. So maybe they do count it, right? Let's take a look at the condition or the picture of it on the outside and see if it matches our property. So remember what our property looks like? Here's our property here. All right, so brick and everything. Let's look at this property here. So from here, we can't tell if it's brick or not. So let's go to Zillow and see what it gives us. So here's the property here. All right, so it is brick. And with these colors and that new door color, that looks like it was remodeled, beautifully transformed. These are ancient words for this bad boy has been remodeled. All right, so perfect. So with that being said, this is a remodel price of, what did it sell for? $360. All right. So we'll keep that in mind. We know that in this area so far, it looks like a property that's like remodeled minimum can sell for at least $360. And that was the oldest property, right? But I'm not too confident in that as a comp. Let's go down to number 7. All right, so here we go, number 7 again, no pictures. So let's look this one up. Let's see if this gives us MLS details. Renovated home. All right, so perfect. This is again telling us what we need to know. Now, granted, this has some talk about a golf course and tennis, famous tennis court. So the price may be a little bit different because of that. But let us see. Here we go, 1891 Beecher Road. All right. So on the outside, they don't look like they did too much. But definitely you can see there's been renovation done on the inside of the property. Let's see this picture load up. There you go. So it's not the same brick on the outside of the property either, though. You guys seen that? This doesn't look like the same brick. This is stone actually. But on the inside, you see fully newly remodeled property. So what do you guys think? Should this property be considered as a comp? It's newly remodeled, so that's a good thing. But the outside is stone and ours is brick. So should this be a comp or should this maybe be a backup comp if we can't find something better? And then the last one is number 9. All right, so here we go. This property, let's look this bad boy up over on Linda Way. I think this is one of the ones that matches perfectly. 1940 build. Ours is not 35, I think. Here's the property here. All right, we already know this is newly remodeled. Looks gorgeous. All right, don't have to even let this load up. Now this sold for 285. All right, and this is what it used to look like. This is what it looked like, and this sold. Let's see, when did it sell for 285? You can come down here to the history, and you can do the same thing in Prop Street, but it sold on the 26th, 2 months ago. When did it sell before that? I can't tell, but maybe Prop Street will. Let's look at the. So Lions and them brought it. They've been had this property. Had this property for like 11 years. All right, so it sold for about 285. So I would say the comp for this property here, with our 3 properties, is this is probably about right, about 215. Now this is all the way fixed up though, right? This is what your ARV would be. So I would have it like 215. I could possibly go a little bit higher, maybe 225, 230 would be my comp. And based off of the condition of that property is what my offer would be, right? So if the property needs like tons of work, then I would definitely make sure I take that in consideration. All right, people hit me up on the DMs. I'll definitely get back to you. Just see, I saw that. So Charlie, I hope this one helps, and we're able to hook you up on that one. We're gonna do one more, and I'm gonna go back and get somebody that had messaged me from the top of the show. So Alex, we're doing your property. Let me close these out, and Alex will jump in on your property here. So Alex got a property that is over in (1924) Glen. Perfect. Over in Decatur. Decatur is a really good area. Not a lot of sellers or not a lot of buyers are buying over there, but I think that's just because of the market slowdown. But Decatur has tons of good everything. So any properties you get on Decatur is good, but they can be kind of expensive. So that's the only drawback. All right. Here we go. So we have this property here. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, about 2,000 square feet. Let's get that flowing first and foremost. Boom. Let's punch in the 4 bedrooms so we can eliminate all of the 3 bedrooms that would have popped up. And let's look at the map. Do I like all of these properties? And now you guys see why I typically start with quarter mile. because it just helps, right? Like if I did a quarter mile, then those other properties wouldn't have got in there. But let's go back to the half mile so I can kind of show you guys the reasoning behind some of those things that we talked about. So here, Glenwood Drive, that's a major road, right? If we zoom out, we can see it. Here, let me make this big so you guys can see it better. So here's the property we was looking at. You see Glenwood? Glenwood keeps going, keeps going. I think it actually runs through East Atlanta. So number 7 is not going to be a comp. All right. Now, what about number 3 and 5? You see they cross over Snap Finger right here. They cross over Snap Finger, but Snap Finger is not really it's not a major street. You see, like just from here to here. So we can count that. So we got these 3 comps that we're going to use. Now, another good thing with PropStream is, I should have showed you guys on the major one, but if I wanted to, I can come in and grab, oh, sorry, I went to the wrong spot. I can come, I could have did it here, but since I'm here, I'll show you. I can actually click on this and I can draw just by doing that and select like exactly where I want to find the comps. All right, and then you hit search. But we'll hit that for that. So we're gonna take out, what number was that we're taking out? Taking out number 7. Let's go to, let's go. So that's gonna be number 4. All right, so here we go. So let's just match up our dates and everything. Everything 4 bedroom, 2, 2.5 bath. That's perfectly fine. 1966, 65, 68, 65. Perfect. Everything looks good there. Now, all we gotta do is look for apples to apples. So let's see if we can get some eyes on these properties. All right. Now, this is an extra step, you guys, and a lot of times people not doing this, and they come in here and they're like, "Oh, perfect! I got the comps. Let's do it." But they're not realizing that, hey, you gotta pay attention and look at the actual like pictures and kind of see like this house here, right? So here's a house currently for sale, and this is its condition, right? So let's go back. Oh, actually, that's our property. So that's what our property looks like. So let's go and look at this property. So we see what our property looks like. Got this like, I'm not even sure what this is. Wood-ish. They sell this for $200K. This looks so sexy. As an investor, like this is the type of stuff that turns us on. It's weird, I know, but all right. So here's a property here. There's no pictures, so let's look it up. This property is actually owned by buyers here. But there's a lot of buying in this area, or in Georgia, I should say. So this is all brick. So this is not the same type of house. We can't even do nothing with this lease. Beautiful house though. But we can't do nothing with it. So we're gonna back out of this one. Hold on. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna back out of this one. Let's go back to our second one here. See if this is gonna be a comp for us. My guy Franklin, what's up, man? Seller wasn't motivated enough, by the way. He said you wanted to send it today. Franklin, I'm gonna have you come on in a second. Well, let me know in the chat if you can come on live. If not, then I'll just call you after this. Let's take a look at this one here, see what it looks like. Now, this is a really good comp that we're going over because I feel like we're gonna get the same thing. So here's another one is brick, sold for $330. Doesn't quite say the conditions or nothing like that. Beautiful home, well maintained. So keywords like well maintained basically means that it has not been remodeled, right? fresh paint inside and out. Okay, cool. That's all we really need to know. So this technically is not a comp as well because of the outside. These two are brick. Now let's look at this third one here. And hopefully this third one is also brick or just not what our property is. So I can give you guys some insight on what to do next. All right, so there we go. Let's go. Let's see what we got. Drum roll, please. Look at that. This is brick and siding. So this is exciting because this is definitely not what we got. This is one of its own kind. So what do you do when a property has no, everything else matches, but the outside is different? So your property is brick and the other properties are siding, or your property is siding, the other property is brick, or your property is like this wood thing that we got going on right here, right? And your property, all the comps are bricks. What you have to do is you have to be able to do two things from the gate. Now this is partly brick. You see the brick right here? So, but from just that, I would more than likely say I would automatically deduct 10K off of my offer. Because the property is not going to sell as high as the other properties that were brick. That's how you deal with that. Okay? But you can still use these as comps because that's the only reason why it's not. So the average sales price here, your comp would be $321.67. All right. So I hope that one helped out. I think that was to my guy Alex. So hope that one helped out. And if you guys are having like troubles with these deals or you need help like negotiating with the seller or something like that, hit me up in my DM. I prefer DM more than Facebook because sometimes your stuff get lost on Facebook. Like not lost, but you end up in like there's this like spam area in Messenger. So if you send it, I won't see it until I physically go in there. Now I try to make sure to go in there once a day, but sometimes it doesn't happen, right? So if you message me, hit me up on a DM, like, yo, I got a property. Can we go over it? I'll go over it with you. We'll comp it out. If you need help pitching, whether it's wholesale or a creative deal, I'll help you do that. And if you don't have a buyer, I'll bring a buyer for you. All right. And that way we can close it and work on the deal together. And if you want to get some gator lending money so that you can put in higher earnest money, or so you can do what we call transactional funding. So essentially buy the property and then sell it to your buyer for a higher price without having the seller see that you're making so much money, then also we're lending on that and we can help you with that as well. All right. So Franklin, I know you said you can get on in a few minutes. Does that mean you're ready to go right now? Or should we just give you a call after? And Franklin had a property that I know was pretty dope, so that's why I'm trying to see if he can get on. If not, then we will wrap this up for today and have you guys have Franklin come back and we can do it on the next Compin Atlanta. Every Thursday at 3 p.m. we do these, guys and girls. I stop my business. I literally go from training my team members and I stop everything that I'm doing so I can come on here. And be able to give game for free. I'm gonna send you a link. 1 second. So what I want you guys to be able to do for me is fairly simple, right? If you're getting value and you think this is like, fire, then I would tell you to just share this, right? We want to be able to get more people on, more people being able to learn exactly what we're doing and how we're doing it so that we essentially can be better, right? It's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring more people on, build more people on so that we can be better. I'm gonna get Franklin to jump on here really quick and get the show started. 1 second. All right, Franklin, I'm sending you a link right now. I think I can actually send it to you on here. So let me. Oh no, because you're on YouTube, you can't. So I'm gonna text it over to you. All right, boom, there you go. So while waiting for Franklin, again, if you guys are getting value, take a screenshot of this, post it, say, yo, this was fire, or yo, this was booty, whatever it is, how you feel about it, cool. Jump on in and tell people to come join every Thursday, 3 p.m. This is episode 6. Typically, we have a guest on with me, or it's just me holding it down dolo and giving you guys a game. Today was actually pretty cool because the first part of it we did more catered towards starting brand new and how to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Peter said booty fire. I love it. Go ahead and put that on, Peter. Like, take a screenshot of that and be like, yo, this episode 6 was booty fire, man. I love it. Franklin, I see you in here. I'm gonna bring you up. Can you get your camera up on? All right, bet. Hold on. I'm about to bring my guy Franklin on. What's up, my guy?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good, man. Yo, you're like the hardest working agent that I know, bro.
Thank you. I
You know what
try.
I'm saying? Nah, you listen. You're doing it, bro. You're doing it. So what's going on?
So we called the seller yesterday, and we got the full story. Yeah, he was thinking that we wanted like another rental, so we were willing to pay like cash offer because of my partner. I guess said the wrong things, and he had the wrong idea. Try to pitch creative to him, but he just wants to actually sell the house in cash. That's why he wanted the full offer and actually pay off his other debts, so that he
Okay.
can cash flow on his other properties and be able to also pay for his daughter's tuition for not only art school, like art, like a private school, and then like college after. So we just weren't a good fit overall.
Okay. This is perfect. So this Franklin is talking about a deal. I'm telling you, this is turning into like way more than Compin Atlanta. We're probably gonna have to do more episodes. In fact, Franklin, you just gave me an idea, man. I think we should do an episode or just like have a different series where people could just come on and we just talk through their deals. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just like I don't know what to call it yet, but maybe we should call it Franklin Station. That'd be dope, bro.
Okay.
That'd be dope, man. Have you come on. Well, let's talk. I like that. But yeah, so this is a deal that we were talking about. We were looking at doing. We were actually thinking about pitching something creative on this, but the seller number was just crazy off, right? And it was like the crazy thing was this is the guy that was the agent too, right? This is
Yeah.
the guy that was the agent too, right?
Right.
So this he knows what the market value is and all that good stuff, and his price that he wanted was crazy. We like Franklin told me the price, and I was like, oh hell no. I literally started saying, oh hell no,
Yeah.
this ain't gonna work, right?
He was actually like very aware of what the real price was, but like you said, he was giving a bullshit price, basically. Like, oh yeah,
Yep.
price is 680. Then we got on the phone. He was actually saying like the prices we thought were that were ARV were really the
Uh-huh.
price it was to him for what he wanted to sell it on market for. And he
Right.
wanted to put it on market, but he thought that if we could deal with it off market, he doesn't have to pay commission to his brokerage and all that. So I think that's why he was so interested in talking to us. And then it ended up being just the miscommunication leading up to that call.
Right. But that's what technically that's what ends up happening, right? You have people who are like, look, I know what I could do, but I
Yeah.
don't want to do it that way. Like I don't want to sell it through because then I have to pay my broker and I have
Right.
to do this, that, and the third, or then I have to paint the house first, or and they're like, I don't want to do that. But they still want the high end price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this guy, he did what I call a shit test, right? He was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, if you give me what was it, like 680 or something like that,
Yeah. 680.
if you give me 680, the house is yours. That's
Right.
when I was like, shit, like that, what? That ain't gonna work. Like we're not doing that. And
Right.
that was like just looking at the numbers. At the time, we was just going through prop stream, He jumped on MLS because he's the agent, was able to look through the numbers. Like, I don't know where he's getting his numbers from. Even if we structured something creatively, giving him 680 wouldn't have worked unless he was willing to do a 100-year note, right? Or something long term like that, right? So the benefit is Franklin gave me a call. We talked it out, right? I think your partner was on too, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. All right. So shout out to him. He's one of the hard. Listen, these guys are legit gonna take over Atlanta. I'm gonna be joining their podcasts and shows soon. Like, look, I'm telling the truth, man. So we get on and we start working out the deal structuring of like what this could possibly be, because there's a story behind everything a seller tells you. Okay. The fact that he gave that high number, there was a reason why he gave the high number, and we figured out what the numbers should be. And so now having a conversation, it worked out perfectly, understanding like, okay. But here's the thing. Most people are like, man, that was a waste of time. Or, man, I knew this agent was booty. I knew he wasn't going to do, you know what I mean? I knew it wasn't going to be a deal. But here's the kicker. Franklin spoke with him and kept it 100. He said, listen, I can't pay you that. Here's what I can do. Here's what we could do. I got a partner of mine. He understands creative. We could possibly do this. But if we do cash, this is what I can do. I can't do no more. Well, he was like, well, send me proof of funds. Boom, here's your proof of funds. Then he started to realize, okay, Franklin was serious. In fact, I think that's what you had said. He called your guy back and was like, okay, now they didn't follow back up with him yet. They sent over the proof of funds, and he called them and said, okay, I noticed you guys are serious. And that's when the conversation continued to develop. But I promise you this, time's gonna go by and he's gonna sit and he's gonna think, I really don't want my broker to make any money off of my property. And I want somebody serious that's gonna keep it real with me, that I can trust, who has built credibility. A lot of times people try to figure out, how do I develop trust with a seller? It's through credibility. How do I do credibility? It's small little things that you do. They say, send me proof of funds. You send them proof of funds. If you guys can't get proof of funds, reach out to me. I'll get you proof of funds. Right? If they say, okay, look, I'll call you back at 11 tomorrow, you call them back at 11. So that they know, like, look, every time you open up your mouth and said what you said you were going to do, you did it. I can trust you. But truly what that means is credibility. You build credibility with the seller, right? And so now because of that, I promise you, if the guy decides to sell it off market, the first and only person he's calling is Franklin and his team. And we're going to knock this deal out the park. We'll get it locked in.
Yeah.
Right? So we don't even need to do the comps on it because it ended up not being what it's supposed to be. But it was great for Franklin to come on and explain this deal to you. And I really think we should do like a deal structuring thing, man. That might be dope.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think I want to add on, like, with the proof of funds. I think I was kind of having like an imposter kind of feeling, like this isn't my money. Mm-hmm. But I kind of realized, like, I'm serious about buying your house. It might not be my money, but I'm still serious about buying your house. So
there you go.
And give me more confidence.
And also, Franklin, who cares if it's your money?
Yeah.
Right? Like last night, I was talking at the event, right? And I said, do you think Walmart cares if you and your mama both swipe your card in order to pay for the groceries? They don't care.
Yeah.
Listen, as a business, in a business transaction, people do not care whose money it is, as long as I get the money that I was told and agreed upon that I would get at the end of the transaction. That's it. So whether you're borrowing money, which is actually one of the smartest things you can do as an investor, whether you're borrowing money to be able to do deals or you're using your own money, it doesn't matter. And one of the great things that we have with this community, with the Facebook group, I'm telling you guys to make sure you're part of, is because you now can leverage, right? Like that bank account that Franklin got the proof of funds technically wasn't his bank account, but it was a partner of his that he was going to pull into the deal. So it all works. The only way it doesn't work if Franklin was out here like illegally stealing, like if Franklin stole my bank account information and tried to use it, as proof of funds, and then later be like, hey, you want to do a deal? That's we're gonna have a talk offline. But that's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Barn stable looks like a barn turned single family. So that property that you saw, it does look like a barn, but I think that's just more so the angle. I'm not sure who took the picture or why they took it that way, but I'm positive if you saw the house from the front, you would be able to see like the full brick and everything like that. It's just on that side style over there. All right, Peter says almost no one buys houses with their own money. One of the biggest keys to real estate is OPM. That's right. If you're not down with OPM, I don't know what you're doing, man. Honestly. So Franklin, man, thanks for joining us, man. Go ahead, shut it down for us, bro. Tell other people to tune in to the good stations that they need to, what they need. I'm just gonna leave you on here. See you, man.
Okay. Just keep coming here. You know, Eddy provides a lot of value on Compin Atlanta. You can reach out to me on my name, add me on Facebook. Just tag me on, or just follow me on Instagram at Franklin_Van. And that's it. But yeah, I don't really have much else to add on.
You thought I really left it, didn't you?
I knew you didn't. I'll definitely come back.
All right, man. Listen, that's it. I appreciate you all. Love you all. Again, hit my guy Franklin up. He's an agent here. He's killing it. He understands the game. In fact, he is part of a badass team that does door knocking for pre-foreclosures. They go out almost every weekend. So definitely link up with him. Reach out to me for anything that you need. Hit me in my DMs, this, that, flips, or shoot me a message and we get to it. All right. Peace, everybody. See y'all next week.